Hello everybody, and welcome to the second video in my art series on how I'm gonna try to get better during a year. So just to start off, you can kind of see what I have here. I have a bunch of the images that I've been working on across the week. To start off, I guess we'll start off with this one that I worked on. Maybe you can tell who it is, maybe you can't, but it's from an anime that's been going on, Free Ren. In this one, it was just mostly like a quick sketch. Quick light sketch just to kind of get the feel. This one I didn't really do anything crazy. No background this time either. I'm just trying to get the proportions right, trying to get the face right, and just using simple colors. Usually for these types of drawings I just color pick from the reference, color it in, right? And then I'll just add like a multiply layer like this for the shadows. So you usually pick like a tan kind of around its top half. Just pick any color here. It depends on the lighting of the scene that you want. So if you want like a red or orange light, a warm light, you would go over here and you would just color like this. If you don't like it, you just change it. More saturated or less saturated, like this. So that's how I did this one. Next drawing. Another drawing, just one's pretty simple. Just another sketch that I did. This time I tried using more pastel colors. So you can see here. Mostly just these three main colors across the whole drawing. And I guess if you want to count this as well, the line art is a little darker. Even with this color scheme, I feel like you can still tell who the character is. And even though the colors are very light, you can still tell that it's Miku, right? Tried to go for a little messier this time. I didn't really try to fill all the gaps like I usually would if I was drawing. Like over here you can kind of see. I didn't even fill in the gaps for the fingers. Just quick sketch. And then when I color, I usually just wand. So like I would wand like that, and I'll just fill in with like, you know, the color that you want, like that. Very quick. This isn't the original file, so I don't really have the sketch, but you can kind of see what I mean. Just wand, fill. Next one, just grab some images in-game of Genshin Impact. Don't know if you guys have heard of it, but yeah, just grab some areas and scenes that I liked, and try to do some background studies. Mostly just gathering the lines, trying to figure out the forms of the background and like the foliage and kind of stuff. For this one, same thing. You can kind of see how the background works. There's even like, I'm missing some things over here, but whatever. Some trees? Something like that. Some clouds too. In Genshin there's like so many things in the background. You don't really notice it when you're in game, but when you start drawing it, you see these little pieces and trinkets everywhere. Especially here in Mondstadt, at the cathedral. I feel like it was everywhere. Like all these chairs, all these pillars over here. Perspective, it's a little bit off, but I think it's pretty close. You can kind of see for these pillars, the farther they are, or the closer they are to you, the bigger they appear, right? And then the farther away something is, the smaller it is. Even though in game, or I guess if you were in real life, they would be the same size if you were in front of them. But that's just how perspective works. This one's another one. You can kind of see it. It's like from a ground floor and looking up instead this time. I'm even missing some chairs, but whatever. This one's from Sumeru. Got the building. Got the clouds. Not much for this one. Over here, I was working on leaves. Leaves are probably not as interesting, but I still think they're important, especially for backgrounds. You can see all over. You see leaves, greens, and then here just some potted plants. Just trying to see how they work and how they look, just to get the general shape and feel. Nothing crazy. You can kind of see how different they are, even with the shapes and the size of the leaves. They differ quite a bit. For this one, I wanted to try a different style. It's Toka from Tokyo Ghoul. I just did the sketch first and copied it 3 times. 1, 2, 3. And then just tried rendering in different styles. This one is like the one before that you saw before, the Miku. And then over here, a little bit different. Same kind of feel, the kind of watercolor feel, but mostly just focusing on the lighting and the coloring and rendering. Kind of see here, these are some crazy shapes. Just wanted to try it out. And over here, you can kind of see in these drawings, I kind of tried using more tones and more texture brushes. Like this one over here. And this one. That's kind of what I did. And for the last one, I was trying to make it more like a manga, or like the style of Persona, if you've ever seen the art. Just mostly black and white and really clean line. Well, not clean this time, but you know how it is. And moving on. Here again, more backgrounds. This time I'm focusing more on the lighting. So these ones are from, these top 4 are from Genshin. These ones are from The Last of Us. And these are just from Unsplash, just some reference images. This time I'm just focusing on the lighting. You kind of see that where the shadows are darker, where they're kind of not as dark, and then over here where it's light. And over here it's the same thing. You can kind of tell here there's like kind of a soft light around this area. And over here there's a soft light over here. And I guess there would be one here too, but this one I just focused on the lighting, trying to do lighting from windows. You can kind of see here, there's the hard sunlight, soft rays of light, more hard light from the direct sky, and over here is light from the cloth. Over here it's again, it's more of a darker scene. I wanted to try it out this time, just to see how it would feel. I think it came out pretty interesting. This is another screenshot from The Last of Us. And over here, city, big ray of light, more soft light coming around this area. Just studying it and seeing how it works. Over here, same deal with soft light on the top. Yeah. Next, looking at skies. This time I just looked at drawings from anime artists that I like, and would just color picked. You can tell even with these ones, like this blue is completely different from this one, or this one, or this one. This one is really interesting for me. You can kind of see 3 different tones. This one is like a soft, behind the mountains, from the sun, I believe, would it be? You can kind of see that the sky is kind of purple. Over here it's kind of gray. Blue, orange, red. Blue, white, the clouds. Like, this one's like yellow and cyan, kind of. And this one's blue and purple-ish. Not really. More of a white. Over here, just blue and some just moving a bit. And just worked on more plants and stuff, more foliage. You always draw them for backgrounds, right? So I just tried a bunch of different ones that I saw, just to see how different artists draw them. Next, this one is Nurse Robo Type T drawing I did. This time I tried using a Unsplash, and I just used an auto action to turn it into an anime. Lighting this time, kind of half the face. That's what I tried. Half the face and like the triangle, Rembrandt's triangle, I think. And then you can kind of see it's just the sunlight that I put around. And you can kind of see from that study that I tried, where I tried these more textured brushes, you can kind of see where I've been using them. Over here, just a little bit everywhere. Next drawing just another study. This one is just a study of perspective. Probably aren't correct, but as close as I can imagine them to be. This one, just cubes and rectangles and rectangular prisms, and then inside there's like cylinders, or even outside, just like this one, it's like a cylinder outside. Next, heads in a bunch of different directions, heads with shoulders, and then trying to do different perspective with the whole body in a different angle. Usually we'll see it's like a crazy perspective. First time ever trying it. Yeah. Next, more heads, more shoulders, more directions. Over here I have a bit more of the body of the torso moving around just to get the feel. This one is from a top view, looking down from the head. Side, side, side. Next, just drawing and studying from references. I just look at references from photos and try to draw the clothes and look at the form and feel. The shapes, especially on these clothing folds and stuff. Nothing too crazy. Over here, another one where I used the photo, but I only used the photo for the trees. So for the rest of the drawing, I mostly drew it by myself. You can probably tell from the snow over here, like the snowman, the sky. It's kind of, it's not too great, but I think overall it came out really well. Light source coming over here. Kind of hitting the snowman and the hair. And then for the snow, I just used like a brush. I use this one, I think. There you go. That's how I did the snow, and I use this brush. It's really cool. Kind of see, you know, it makes it look like it's falling instead of just being stationary. Next, last one. For this one, I just did sketches, some quick sketches and line practice. Always gotta practice lines. That's all I have for this week. I hope you guys have had a wonderful week. I hope to see you again in another video. Bye bye.